Hi, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
We're glad you could join us once again. I hope you've had a wonderful few days. It's been really hot in our neck of the woods.
Terribly hot.
Terribly hot. It's making us really want our August to be over almost.
That's right. Makes us really look forward to autumn, that's for sure.
Truly
more
does.
than usual, which
yes.
I always look forward to autumn anyway, but boy, when that weather's so incredibly hot.
We just need a reprieve, I think.
Definitely.
Yes. My son, her brother, came down to visit, and we had a delightful time with him. He was able to pick the remaining peaches off of the very tip top of the tree, took a tool up and kind of shook them a little bit, and they caught them. And so those are the last ones that really the raccoons could not get to, I guess. And so we really enjoyed those.
We have enjoyed those a lot.
Yes.
Lovely. And you made some wonderful jam.
I have made a lot of jam right now. And it's yummy good.
Yes, it is. And we have a few to sell that are selling in the shop right now that are just
our little farmer's market area.
Exactly.
But a few things that are homemade.
Yep. Abundance of organic peach jam that was just from the peach tree, 15 feet out the door.
This is a time for kind of the changing of the seasons, but it's so gradual. We hardly notice it. I always think it's just kind of a miraculous thing that happens. I go down the lane, I see a couple of stems of goldenrod blooming. I see the last of the sand plums, the wild plums on the bush that are ready to drop, and they'll make some more bushes.
Yeah, I saw the partridge pea blooming on your lane. It's such a pretty native flower.
All along the lane. It is pretty.
It is.
So, those little subtle things that are happening, and everything happens kind of subtly, not all of a sudden. And I like that too, because we get to enjoy each and every day and each thing that we see that's a little bit different.
We had a meeting with one of the native prairie experts this past week or last week, and so we are, talking about the partridge pea makes me just remember that we're planning now to do some native prairie restoration in our front area. We're super excited about it. So when you come to the shop, if you drive in and you see it, we're going to have black plastic over one area to kill the grass, and we're going to do some burning this fall, and we're going to seed the area with a lot of the native plants, and we're very excited about that. And we had that native prairie event, and I hope that has inspired a lot of people to start preparations for planting some native prairie flowers, because it's so good for the pollinators and for the planet. And it's low maintenance, which, we all love low maintenance, right?
Well, turning it back into prairie.
Yes, exactly.
And with the wildflowers.
Yeah, and the deep roots, which help to sequester carbon. I am super excited. And, one of the things that when I went over and saw my friend Lisa's prairie, and it was so inspiring because it was just so full of life. If you can imagine walking out in your yard and seeing all kinds of caterpillars and butterflies and bees and all the wonderful things. That's what we need. And we need little way stations all the way along their travel paths.
We do.
Everyone needs to do just even a small little area in their yard.
Yep. Everyone needs a home.
This is the time to kill the grass. So, yeah. And we'll put a link actually below, because that talk was recorded and we have some of our resources from that talk posted too. So now is a good time, especially when it's really, really hot, to go ahead and get that grass killed so that you can plant some natives.
That's right.
Yeah.
One of the other things that's happening right now that I have noticed is a little subtle. It doesn't happen all at once, but here and there, a hedge apple will fall.
Oh, yes.
And we have hedge apples, or the Osage orange tree, which is in our woods here. It's kind of an invasive tree, but yet it's not. I've kind of grown to love it because it is such a survivalist tree. Just one of those that are really a tough tree.
Oh, for
now,
sure.
If you're standing outside under one this time of the year,
beware,
because if you've ever been hit on the back of
on
your back as you're stooping over to pull a weed and a hedge apple falls down and hits you, you're going to wonder, what in the heck is that?
Who's throwing things?
That's right, because they're like a baseball,
right?
Almost.
Oh, yeah,
yes,
yeah. Well, these are small ones here.
These are small ones because the first ones that fall sometimes are very big, like the size of grapefruits. And these are smaller ones. But, I just absolutely love the coloring of them. The coloring is beautiful. They're pebbly, so it has texture too. And I love to put them in a bowl and on my table. But you got to watch, because they do go bad kind of quickly. And then you kind of replace them with others. But anyway, we'll tell you a little story in a minute about what we did with them. But I'd like to read just a little bit about the Osage orange tree from my book, and this is, I think, probably out of the September chapter, but we'll get a little ahead of ourselves because we're kind of wanting to get there quick. And And Labor Day is only about a week and a half away from this point. So,
Yeah,
yes.
real close.
And it says, the sky is falling. The sky is falling. No, it is another green hedge ball falling from the tree above. The Osage orange tree is dropping its fruit now. The fruits are also called hedge balls, hedge apples, or horse apples. I am picking them up off the drive, off my walking path, and from the flower beds. Most of them are the size of apples or oranges, but a few are the size of huge grapefruits, so one does not want to be standing under an Osage tree this time of the year, especially if there is a wind. The chartreuse green makes them easy to see, and with their pebbly surface, they are a decorator's delight, even if only for a few days. I put them in a wooden bowl, and I can add fresh bittersweet to it, or I could add just some twigs to it, or some pretty leaves that are starting to turn, and I love the way it looks. I watch the hedge balls daily in the bowl as they will turn brown and rot within the week. I enjoy them for a few days, and then I replace them with others. Growing up, we had a row of hedge apple trees separating the field from the road. My woods today are interspersed with them as they are a native and invasive. Now, I'm not sure they're quite the native. We call them a native. I believe they were introduced, but they've been here so long. The squirrels will eat hedge apples if they cannot find anything else to eat. But my dad always said the horses and the cows do not eat them. They're smart enough not to. There is an old myth that placing them in cellars or basements will keep spiders and insects away, but that has proven untrue. The Osage orange tree was used in pioneer days to make fences across the Midwest by planting many trees. It is a dense growing tree with long thorns, so the fence kept everything in or out. Fence posts made of the hard wood of the Osage orange will last 100 years or more, as termites will not eat it. The roots are covered in an orange bark. I love this beautiful wood and the endurance of this survivalist tree, and I have more than a few that live in my woods. The orange tree is letting go of its fruit around my yard now and down my lane. And in the autumn, of course, is about letting go with the seeds, the fruits, and the leaves. They're pulling in, they're going deeper as the roots take nutrients down with them as they ready themselves for the next season. So I hope you'll go out and gather a few hedge apples and enjoy them in your house also. Here's a couple of things I've done with this. A friend of mine had her husband cut little rounds of the hedge tree, and it shows the beautiful wood. And notice the orangey glow to it.
Mm-hmm.
And this one has been varnished, so it really shows off that wonderful texture of the wood. And then this is one I'm beginning to use, and this is just an oiled piece. And that is a basket I'm starting to make out of the pine needles. And this is the base of it, and the Osage oranges round is in the bottom of it. And that little basket will end up being just a little bit taller. It'll end up looking about this size. Now that bottom actually is made out of a piece of a black walnut, slice of a black walnut.
Beautiful, Mom. Those are just lovely.
Just love them. I do. So I do respect this tree. I just think it's a wonderful tree, and I don't mind it being on my property at all. But
Well, we don't have any hardwood trees, and so I mean, as far as like oaks and maples and I mean, we have some maples that have been planted, but
we are close to the edge of the
hardwood forest.
Yeah, the hardwood forest,
right?
And so that really the eastern hardwood forest. So we're right kind of on that line. And if we go a few miles south of here, that's where the hardwood trees are.
Yeah,
and they actually have the Maple Festival and all that because of all the hardwood trees
in Baldwin. Yeah.
Yes. Now the one thing, do you remember? Were you around when I did this? I think you were. When we decided, yes, you were. When we decided to slice the Osage oranges.
Yeah, we broke our electric knife doing that.
Yes, we did. I happen to think it'd be a bright idea if we would cut these into slices and dry them in the oven to boot.
Yeah, that did not work.
And I could string them across the fireplace, and they would just look wonderful.
Great idea.
Well, but it was a great idea. You just cannot slice these things apart. They are hard.
They are.
And we started slicing them, and there's a latex-like liquid that's inside.
Very sticky.
Very sticky. You can't get it off your hands.
Oh, couldn't get it off the knife.
We ruined the knife.
Yep, ruined the knife.
But then I laid them on parchment paper, what we had cut, and put them in the oven. And the oven was on the lowest setting it could be. And I thought, well, we'll dry them for a couple of days that way. The house smelled so bad that we could not stand to be in the house for 2 days. And the windows were open for those 2 days. Everything was done. It was something we'll never try again.
What do they say? On the road to hell is paved with good intention.
Yeah, that's just a word of caution, y'all. Don't slice them.
It didn't seem like such a bad idea.
No, it really did. But it just they're just a wonderful thing. I just really, really enjoy them. So the sunflower fields are blooming this year.
Oh yes, the sunflowers are. Yep, it's that time of year.
It is that time of year. So
love
that's another
sunflowers.
one of those things that we see as we slowly transition into the fall. It's our state flower here.
That's right. Yeah, so it's a sunflower, which is a beautiful state flower.
It is.
It's a wonderful plant too. We use sunflower in a couple of different ways.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, the seeds.
Not only the heads out and put them out for the birds.
Yes.
Let them dry and the birds just come along and they pick out the seeds, which is wonderful.
Yeah, we decorate with them first.
Yes,
then,
we do.
And then once they start to kind of, be no longer great for decorating, then we stick them outside for the birds. And it's a wonderful way to do it.
Yes, it is. And
so we have a sunflower patch not very far from us. So when you're coming out to the shop, you can drive right past the sunflower patch. You can leave a donation there and grab a couple of sunflower heads for your own decorations too. Or a bouquet, right? Yeah. They're big ones.
So we do use the sunflower in lots of things. I do use the sunflower seeds, and I just did that this last week.
Yeah, that was cool.
Now they're not actually the seed; they're the kernel inside.
Right.
So the kernels are what I use, and we can buy them at natural grocers as a raw kernel or a toasted with a tamari sauce on them and such, which adds just a little bit of spiciness. Either way, they're wonderful to sprinkle on top of your salads.
They are.
Or use in a recipe, and I made a broccoli salad.
It was so good.
It was so good. It just added that perfect little crunch to it.
Yeah,
we will add that recipe this time.
Yeah, we'll put that down in the comments. Yeah, that'd be great.
So we use sunflower oil quite a bit too.
We do. Yeah, the sunflower seeds are, they're packed with essential nutrients, including vitamin E, B1, B6, folate, magnesium, selenium. They're wonderful. Most of us buy the pre-roasted, but it's really best if you can buy raw and soak them like overnight in some salt water and then roast them yourself at a low temperature. That's really the best. I know sometimes that's really inconvenient to do, but that really helps to enhance the nutrient bioavailability and how digestible they are. And pre-roasted sometimes may have been roasted at too high of a temperature, and they tend to be prone to rancidity. So you really want to make sure that if you're buying pre-roasted, before you use them on anything, make sure you give them a good sniff to make sure that they're not rancid. You always want to make sure you're storing them, of course, in an airtight container in a cool, dark area to help minimize any possibility of rancidity. And of course, you can always refrigerate them and freeze them too to help extend their shelf life.
That's what I do.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do because they do go rancid pretty quickly. And we love sunflower oil. That's our primary oil that we use in all of our salves and oils. We used to use olive oil, and olive oil seems like it would be wonderful, but there's actually been research to show that olive oil can actually degrade the skin barrier. And sunflower seed oil is actually the only oil that research has shown that it helps to actually improve the skin barrier. And so that's the only oil that we use primarily. We do use some other oils that have also been shown to be helpful, but sunflower seed is the primary oil, and it's a wonderful oil for skin and for salves and things like that. You want to make sure though that you're not cooking with sunflower seed oil. It has a high percentage of polyunsaturated fats that are prone to oxidation when they're exposed to heat, light, or air. And that means that they form harmful compounds when they oxidize. And plus, sunflower seed oil is really high in omega-6 fatty acids, which aren't great for us to ingest a lot of. They are an essential fatty acid, which our body does need, but it needs to be really balanced with omega-3. So too much omega-6 is not good for us. And because it can oxidize quickly, it has a low smoke point, it degrades very quickly. It really is one that can promote inflammation. So it's not one that we cook with. We cook with avocado oil or butter or coconut oil. There's lots of really good healthy oils that we can cook with, but not sunflower seed oil. But we do use sunflower seed oil on our skin and in our salves, which we love.
Backtrack just a little bit with the broccoli salad.
Oh, yeah.
That I do steam the broccoli just a little bit.
Right.
And there is a reason we do that.
Yeah, because steaming helps to preserve the texture and the flavor. And research actually shows that gentle steaming provides the most health benefits. It helps to retain the vitamin C, the potassium, and other nutrients that can be lost during other cooking methods. And we just really gently steam it till it gets to be that bright green, which makes it prettier.
It's still a little crispy.
And it's more digestible that way too. And it's better for us. Yeah.
That's good. So anyway, I hope everybody would like to try that recipe because it
Yeah.
is so good.
Yeah.
And while we still have the garden produce available, and broccoli is still reasonable to buy even in the grocery store.
Yes, and if you have a favorite way to use sunflower seeds, we would love to hear about
Mhm.
it. Or sunflowers, let us know in the comments below. We'd love
Mhm.
to. We always love to hear your ideas.
We sure do, and we appreciate those comments a whole lot.
We sure do.
Yes.
So yeah, please do like, comment, and share. That
Mhm.
helps to improve our algorithm and helps
Yes.
us to be seen. We appreciate
Mhm.
that a lot.
And so we have a busy week ahead.
Yes, we do. We are packaging right now these September boxes for our home herbalist apprenticeship students, and we're super excited for what we have in store for them this month, as we are every
Mhm.
month. This program goes from January through October, so we're getting
Winding down.
and gearing up for opening enrollment in October for our 2024 session, which we're very excited about. So if you're at all interested, go ahead and put your name on the list. You can email us, or if you go to goodearthherbschool.com, you can put your name on the list that way too. And that way you're sure to receive notification when enrollment does open, because we only take a certain number of students and it does fill pretty quickly.
I might also add that we do share this video on different Facebook sites. I take it over to my Facebook page and such, but the recipes and such don't show there. You'll need to go back to Good Earth Gatherings on the Facebook page. It's an open page.
Yeah, if you go back to the original post, it's the comments. In the comments section there, that's where our recipes and such will always be.
We'll have a lot of fun comments. One other thing I'd like to show with, we talked about the sunflowers. This is one of the mats I've made, and it's made with old ticking. It says sunflowers on this little sign down there at the bottom. It's just a simple little pattern. The petals are not tacked down, so it gives it more of a three-dimensional look.
That is beautiful.
I just love
I'm going to show the back of it. It's just hand stitching.
Yes, it is. So fun to do.
Beautiful.
A simple little pattern.
Beautiful.
So that is something we can close with. Those pretty little sunflowers, and we'll remember to shine just like they do in the sunshine.
Oh, I love that. Yes, turn our face towards the light.
Yes, we will. So until then,
see you next week.
Good Earth blessings
to you.